the amount of moms that I'll reach out to collab with brands from like a PR perspective. Fun fact about PR, we do influencer marketing too. Their quotes start at $25,000 for a story, a 60-second story that is up for 24 hours. I really like the mom influencers that are
real,
authentic and real. They show the good, the bad, the ugly. I love them so much. Tell that story. It might feel like you're saying the same thing for 5 straight years, but that's the story of your brand. If you seem too perfect, you're not relatable. So the more relatable and human you can make your brand, the better.
You worked in big PR. You
Yes.
worked at the big firms. Did it live up to the hype? Was it more than the hype? Welcome to More Than the Hype, the podcast where we go beyond the surface, beyond the trends, and straight into real, unfiltered conversations about business. I'm your host, Kristin Taylor. Grab a glass of wine from KT Winery, or water because moisture is important, and let's get into it, because success is more than just the hype. Emily Scorgie is a PR strategist, content creator, and recent entrepreneur. Emily has spent her entire career helping companies gain national media exposure and build authentic connections with their audiences. You also, I believe, went to Texas Tech.
I did.
Yes. Do you guys have a,
Wreck 'em. Guns up.
Guns.
Which, very Texas.
I love it. My other favorite one is the hook 'em.
No, we're not doing
We
that.
don't say that? Okay.
Horns
Heard.
down. You can zoom in on my hand right then. Horns down.
We'll clip that. But okay, so at Texas Tech, you have a bachelor's in arts and advertising.
Yes.
And a minor in PR.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming how did you fall in love with PR?
So it's actually interesting because I went to school wanting to do graphic design.
Okay.
But at Tech, there were 2 options for that. And they were you can either go the College of Media and Communications route, if you're computer graphic design, or you can go the College of Arts graphic design if you're I'm going to illustrate something and then bring it to life on the computer. I have no hand artistic ability.
Okay.
Besides drawing doodles for my kids. But
Which, that's an art.
Yeah, and I went into advertising. I was in one class and my professor was talking all about his divorced wife.
Oh.
And it just left such a bad taste in my mouth about advertising that I blew through all of my advertising credits and I was going to graduate a year early. And I was like, let's add a minor. So I'm actually 2 credits away from a double bachelor's.
Are you going to go back?
I've debated it, especially now that I'm full-time in PR. I feel like I should have a bachelor's in public relations. So I've debated going back because all it is a capstone class and then I think one more class. But I think my work experience would count as the capstone because
Totally.
internships for credit. So I've actually been debating it, and there's no I think there's one master's program, and why do you need a master's in
I don't think
PR?
you need a master's.
Nor do I want one in business because I hate math. But all
so
that
real.
to say, I was doing my advertising classes, and this is a little bit about me. I hate asking for money.
Okay.
And I hate spending money. I have a weird thing about money. So advertising is really awkward because everything is you're paying for it.
Right.
Which is great because you get results. But it was just one of those things where I started taking my public relations classes and I realized that if I wanted to go into nonprofits, which was my passion, I wanted to go the PR route. And so I started taking all these PR classes and I thrived in them. I loved them so much. And that should have been my sign to just switch my major. But it was I'm doing so well. I had an on-campus job at our school newspaper as an account executive for the ad department of the newspaper. And it was just okay, I'm doing this, whatever. I could get a job in whatever I want. Because truly, any communications degree, you kind of just...
It's very transferable.
Yes.
Yes.
And at Tech, there's even a general major that's I think it's just called comms.
Yeah.
And it's for anyone who wants to do anything. And then I went into nonprofits and I already had my job lined up when I left. So I was all right. I don't need to do anything else.
Right. So in nonprofits, what were you doing in the nonprofit space? Where did you work?
So throughout college, I volunteered at Ronald McDonald House. It's my my heart.
Your mission is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Do you want to tell them about
Okay,
the mission,
so
just in case you haven't heard of it.
yeah, Ronald McDonald House supports families with their kids in the hospital, and offers them housing, meals, and everything like that. So say your child is prematurely born, and instead of staying in that hospital room for 3 to 4 months while they're, growing big and strong, you can stay at the Ronald McDonald House. You have your own space, your own bedroom. People will volunteer to bring meals and cook meals at the Ronald McDonald House, and they just are this sanctuary for families. And it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. So I volunteered there all throughout college. And then when I graduated, I actually was working in ministry. So I worked for the Catholic Church for about 5 to 6 years, I think, in total.
Oh, wow.
And then I left that to work at a national nonprofit that actually is based out of Lubbock.
Okay.
So it was a near and dear one to my heart as well. And it supported children with brain injuries.
Ooh.
So very heavy. And that was honestly one of the main reasons why I left, was just, it is a lot to work for nonprofits because you feel the weight of everything so heavy that if you're not on SSRIs, good luck.
Beta blocker.
Yeah.
My boyfriend for a long time worked at a mental health center in Denver, but specifically a clinician in working with substance abuse.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's hard.
I mean, how do you not take that home with you?
Oh, I worked from home, so it was home.
Literally.
But there were so many times where I would, be talking with a family, and I would just have to end my day sobbing and releasing that. Or when I was doing the impact report of everything we've done over the year, and having to pull the data of how many kids have gotten brain injuries this year, what was the main injury or cause of that injury, and I was pregnant. I'm doing this while I'm pregnant with my first, and I'm reading through all of these awful scenarios that happen to the kiddos that a lot of the time it's not on purpose. A few of them are, but a lot of them are just accidents that permanently affect these children. And I just can't imagine, especially now as a parent, the guilt of that, and becoming pregnant and dealing with that. I was like, I am not well. So when I was 12 weeks pregnant with my daughter, I quit my dream job.
Wow.
Because it's another story, but I wanted to be able to be home with her, and I didn't want to have to put her in daycare because so many traumatic brain injuries happen from kids in daycare before the age of 18 months. So as soon as I start, and of course I'm having all of these statistics, I'm seeing it in the system.
You're literally compiling
yes,
it and telling the story.
Yes, exactly. So I'm how am I going to read this and then be you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put my daughter in daycare so that I can work full time. It was nope. If I have to stay at home with my daughter and quit my job, I'm going to do that because I will not be able to survive if something happens to her because she's somewhere else.
And also, we can also talk about the financial impact of daycare is insane. I think in Colorado, the average daycare cost on an annual basis is $38,000.
Yeah. I
that
have one
is
of
an
my
actual
friends.
salary.
Mm-hmm. And working in nonprofits, that's close to a nonprofit salary.
But actually.
And so I live in Dallas, and the amount of people I know that pay close to $80K for daycare. Mind you, that's
Texas
with
in
one
theory is supposed to
kid.
be affordable.
Yeah, and that's with one kid. Now I have two, so I'm it is so much cheaper to stay home.
Absolutely.
So,
and apparently much safer.
Much safer.
I and obviously this is Macy's territory from Only Moms, but I think one thing I've been really obsessed with for when my time comes is nanny share.
Yeah.
At home, one of my girlfriends, they rotate the 4 of their houses every week. And so the parents work from home while the nanny is there and they're in their own space. I'm obsessed with that idea. I think it's a great way to hack it.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I left my job is because I needed to be fully attentive in meetings, and I was getting so many meetings on my calendar. I mean, the more important you get at your job, the more meetings you get, and the less job you do.
The less work you do, or you get more and just have to do it all.
Exactly. And so it was one of those things where I was like, I will either have to put my kids in daycare, I'll have to get an in-home nanny, or I'll have to nanny share. And I looked at all the options because I didn't want to leave my agency. And I was like, I'm looking at all the options. My friend just had a daycare incident with her babies, and one of them had to get surgery. So I was just like,
no.
what if we nanny share? But still, nanny sharing is still expensive.
Well, it's a salary.
And nannies, it came out to be nannies were going to end up, I would go in the negative that day working because I would be essentially covering my workday pay with the nanny. And I was like, I am not paying someone else to raise my babies when I can do it, and I can do both. I don't have to decide.
Well, that's the beauty of, I think, business ownership is that you do get the flexibility to figure it out. Like, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of long days and maybe things aren't quite as bubbly sometimes, but you do get that ability to flex and adjust and ebb and flow with your partner.
I work from home part-time. So my daughter turns 2 next month, and my son is 8 months old. I've not missed a single milestone for either of them.
I love that.
And like that is something so special to me because I know so many moms who don't get to experience all of the milestones because their kids are at daycare. And I know daycare people are supposed to pretend that those milestones don't exist.
It's so funny.
But I'm like, I'm sure they're like going home and being like, oh, blah, 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 walked for the first time. And they like want to share that. Like, it's such a happy moment. But then it's like,
that's not
your moment.
Yeah, that's not my job as a daycare. Yeah, totally. So, okay, let's take a little right turn. Let's talk about brand. We were just talking before about how we're obsessed with the CPG space. Obviously, I'm in the CPG space, so I'm naturally obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I love to meet people who are doing something completely different in the space that is an observer and able to see, but you also provide services, so you're active in it now.
Yes.
I think one question I get personally from other founders is, I have this brand, seems like no one in PR, press, media cares about it. Why do you feel like certain brands kill it and other brands do not?
It's all about how you humanize your brand.
Similar,
If you are just a brand and you're just promoting this product that has no story, no origin to it, you're not going to do well. If you are just thinking press releases are enough, that's not enough. Look at all of the CPG founders. There's a reason why they're so active on LinkedIn is because people are following the person and wanting to see their dreams like soar in the CPG space. And I think that that's what I love so much is it's such a flourishing community where everyone looks out for each other, everyone's supporting each other. I mean, there's a Slack channel, the Startup CPG Slack channel.
Which is insane.
25,000 people are on it. And nobody in this is something I've noticed about the CPG industry, and I'd love to know your opinion on it, especially as a founder in it. I feel like there isn't competitors in the CPG space. Everyone's competimates.
Oh, love that.
Where like you all, like you might be in similar industries, but you still want to see each other succeed. It's never like, I want to beat you. It's like, let's get there together.
You know, I always say every place, every space has their little nasties, and there's always going to be that 1% to 2% of people who are mean and not and willing to step on others or want to make sure that they don't help anyone because they think it's going to affect their success. I also feel like they always get theirs in the end, but the rest of the CPG community is very
You know who I think does such a good job with that, though? Lex Evans from Lexington Bakes.
Oh, not familiar.
He literally collabs with so many CPG brands where literally I feel like every single month he's doing a new collab that is promoting another CPG business.
That we should reach out to him.
Yeah, he's amazing. I have had the joy of working with him and just like cheering him on. He's an incredibly like talented and like he has such a vision for where he wants Lexington Bakes to go. But he genuinely is like working with a new brand, new collaboration or anything like that every single month.
You know, dough, the cookie dough
Yes.
brand was very good at that. Sabina was killing that. I know she stepped down as CEO, but I think they're still killing it technically. I think I'm loving the collabs. I think they're so impactful. And we just actually had this big team meeting on our team. It's like, okay, we need to like get this collab calendar going.
Yes.
Because it's so important and so impactful. And I think that also creates more press.
Yes.
And you can.
I was going to say, the problem is a lot of people, when they think about public relations or exposing their brand, marketing or anything, they feel like they have to make news for that to happen. But truthfully, your storytelling should not be reactive. It should be proactive. You should be thinking of the ways you can tell a story in the way that it matters.
Right.
So if you're just coming on to be like, hey, we released a new flavor. Hey, we're launching this new thing. People are just going to be like, okay.
Cool.
But if someone's like, come behind the scenes with me as I'm taste testing different fruits to infuse with my wine or whatever, like people are going to love the process of that, because I think we're all, especially in today's society, I feel like we are all so interested in entrepreneurship because it's like what's driving so many of us. I mean, we all want to be our own bosses and not have to work for massive corporations.
I mean, I think taking people behind the scenes, we're about to start doing it in a couple of days for one of our new products. But it's like, okay, we planned it to the point of, okay, I don't know what label we're going to go with. Let's ask people and actually implement it.
Yes.
I think that's the other thing is it's great to take people behind the scenes, but if you don't have the capacity to actually implement it, you have to figure out a different way to tell that story.
It also boosts your engagement through the roof.
I mean, I'm sure, but like I'm excited because it's something that people have a hand in. So I think they're going to be more excited.
This ownership.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Also one of those things where, especially in the CPG space and even in like the femtech space, so many people are now listing WeFunders and letting the community invest in their product. And it's just that when you have a sense of ownership in something, you're going to be a lot more proud of it. You're going to share it a lot more. I mean, I know that I'm an investor in things because of that. And I feel like I'm a child, but now I know how to do that. And it's like, if I believe in a brand, I want to see them succeed. Yeah, I'm going to donate to your WeFunder and help support you.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about investment? No. Do I know where my money is going to go? Like in the long run, like, am I making money? I have no clue, but I know that I gave them money to support them.
No, I mean, so we've done WeFunder. We're actually in the middle of a campaign right now. And I love it because you get messages. We get so many messages from moms like, I'm a single mom. I don't have a lot to give, but I invested $100. And of course, Macy and I are like fist pumping, like, yeah, girl, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Because it drives so much impact. Two, though, they now own part of this company.
Yeah.
You're bought in. You want to see it succeed. You'll use the product.
Yes.
Whatnot. Also, I think it does create more PR-worthy moments because more people care.
More people care.
Yeah. So what brands do you think are like killing it? Give me just a few off the top of your head who feel like
in the CPG space
in general right now. Who's killing it? You're loving the hype.
Okay, you know who? This is not like a small business by any means.
That's okay.
And this is a hot take. Poppy is killing it.
Okay, this is a hot take.
This is a very hot take, and I am Team Poppy all the way. Cancel me if you want, but
well, let's not say that.
But it's one of those things. So Olipop is the OG.
Yes.
Everyone is trying to be them. I mean, just since the Super Bowl, Coca-Cola's announced that they're going to have prebiotic soda. Everyone, especially with Expo West,
Expo West was a huge prebiotic.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know why I'm talking while I'm blowing my nose. That's so gross.
Just mom things. But it's one of those things where like everyone wants to follow. Same with, Graza. Everyone wants to follow them and
all of a sudden
make olive oil. But Poppy, I don't know if it's from just how much extra marketing budget they have, but to go from a lawsuit in the summer that could have ruined them. I mean, I was using that lawsuit as a newsjacking opportunity for other brands to talk about, you don't have to worry about our claims.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah. So like there were so many newsjacking opportunities, but to go from a lawsuit to a Super Bowl ad, a massive influencer campaign.
Allison, I believe her name's Allison, killing it.
killing it.
But it's storytelling, though.
It's storytelling. And all press is good press in the sense that everyone knows who Poppy is right now.
Everyone knows.
Whether they hate them or they don't. Like all these people who were saying, oh, I have all this Poppy in the fridge and I threw it out. And I'm like, you still gave them your money.
And also, what a waste.
What a waste.
What a bad way to stimulate, but whatever.
But like they have the budget for the influencer campaign. That was something I had never seen before. And I am a
the machine?
Yes, I am an influencer on TikTok, which is weird to say. But like I would have peed my pants if I got an email asking if I wanted a vending machine of Poppy in my house. Like, duh. And they quickly turned around the bad PR by saying, we're going to donate these machines and have them go throughout the areas. Do I think that would have been smart to begin with? Possibly. But are they actually going to see results from that right out the gate? No. You need to have it in front of people who, I follow like Meal She Eats, Rachel Sullivan, Chloe Bounds, all of them had them. And they have these massive followings. And then I'm like, then if they say, hey, I'm donating it here, you're carrying on that campaign far beyond what I bet they ever imagined it would be. And then in tandem with that, they're launching mini cans in Walmart. They partnered with HTO here in Texas, which is like a sweet tea drive-through. They now have a Poppy collab with them. They did a giveaway collab with Crumble the next week. And now they're the official like better soda of the Lakers.
Wow.
So like they're doing all of these things right now. And like as a publicist, I am fascinated by it because every single thing is a story, but they don't even have to they don't have to pitch themselves right now.
No, everything is newsworthy.
Everything is newsworthy for them. Everything is, I bet you, every single story that has happened has been completely organic because everyone's obsessed with it right now.
Let's talk about another drink, Unwell.
Yes. Okay, I haven't actually tried it yet.
I have. I tried the strawberry. It was good. But it has caffeine in it.
Yeah.
So, you have to use it in the right time.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you feeling? She just announced that they are the official beverage of the Women's Soccer League. National Women's Soccer League.
I did not see that.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes. I think, as I look at brands, I'm all about consuming intentionally. And part of that is watching the whole unveiling of the Unwell Network and all of that and Alex Earl and whatnot. And so it is interesting how some people can create such pressworthiness because of the brand they previously built. Because I don't think Alex is necessarily telling a lot of stories right now.
No.
But her brand is out there regardless.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit before about how founder-led brands are the ones who are actually doing the best. And I think founders more than ever are starting to get that. They want to be more center stage, but maybe they don't have everything together that they even need to hire you or hire someone to take them to that next level to get the speaking gig. What do you feel like founders need in their toolkit before they come to you? And what will you help them get together as well? Like, where does it start and stop?
You need a strong why. Everyone has one, but how you present that is so important. I've worked with brands that aren't founder focused, and we're still able to tell stories, but founder led ones, we have strong whys. There's usually a personal reason why they did what they did. They're doing what they're doing. There's always updates of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So what they need to have is they need to have that strong why, and then they need to just have the time and the commitment to tell that story. It might feel like you're saying the same thing for 5 straight years, but that's the story of your brand. That's the heart of your brand. And so, anytime I am talking to someone, I'm like, what are your goals? What are your pain points? What did you not expect out of entrepreneurship? Because there are highs and lows. People want the ugly. They want the naked truths in today's society.
They do.
We have completely strayed away from wanting a picture perfect anything. Everyone wants to see, like, if you seem too perfect, you're not relatable. So the more relatable and human you can make your brand, the better. So, say you started with $50 in your bank account and an idea. Use that. Say you've absolutely failed and fumbled something. Be honest about it. Like, Honesty and transparency goes so far. And I know so many people like don't want to talk about the ugly because it might make them look bad or it's just not something they're proud of. But being able to show like, I did this and now I'm here, like it inspires everyone.
Absolutely. I can do that too, is the narrative people are writing in their head when they hear that.
Mhm.
So, okay, they need to have a strong why. Is there anything else? Do they need a press kit ready? Do they need headshots? Do they need what are the glamorous things that we think of that they
Glamorous
actually need?
things. Yeah. Honestly, you don't need a press kit. I feel like any agency you work with, any PR firm, PR consultant, or anything, they're going to build that for you. I've had clients have some. I've had clients who don't have some. Very rarely have I ever actually used the press kit of a client because I want to tell your story and I want to make sure that what I'm doing is unlike anyone else. So I would want headshots are always great. If I'm kicking off with a client, I want product photography. I want headshots made. I want a established website so that your features drive people somewhere. I want to see social. I want to see that you have some kind of social media presence where people can engage with your brand. I feel like all of that has to be created first, and then we can do the magic.
Okay. And is there like a certain stage that you think there's like a readiness? Is it a revenue stage for PR? Is it a distribution ability? What do you feel like is like the trigger of like, okay, it's time? Or should it begin with it's time?
You know, this is a hot take in the PR industry because a lot of people will say you need PR to launch. I personally don't want a client who hasn't launched yet. And the reason why is because credibility is so big in today's press world. There is so much news that if you tell someone, hey, we're launching in the summer, they're going to be like, okay, and they're not going to know what to do.
Right.
And yeah, editorial calendars are far out, but that's for established things. They're not going to launch launch.
Yeah. If you're coming out with like a pickle, like that's great, but they don't know who you are.
Exactly. So you need, honestly, I prefer clients that have already launched. They're in some stores. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of people really like the news of expansions in Targets, expansions in Whole Foods. Like having the big retailers is important. And honestly, the one that I'm really seeing get the most pickup is if brands are on Amazon because news outlets want to make money. Amazon has affiliate.
Absolutely.
And so that's like every question that I see in pitch calls and everything like that. It's like, what are the affiliate opportunities here? Are you on Amazon?
Do you feel like the industry, and this is a hot take, so,
Yeah.
if you don't want to answer, that's okay. Are you feeling like the industry is still in their pay-to-play zone? Because I will say, as a brand founder, I get pitched a lot of publications that I would not think were pay-to-play, but they are. And if they are, is it worth it?
I'm truly shocked by how much is pay to play and people play it as PR because that pay to play is not PR.
No, that's literally
PR is earned media. Pay to play is advertising. I mean, that's what I literally learned on week 1 of my undergrad.
But in the guise of media, right? And I'll just say it. I've been in some of these publications, but from an earned media standpoint, we didn't pay for it. One, we're not that rich. I can't pay for PR at this point. I also don't think we would, to be honest with you. Just I feel like it hits differently. But when we're talking massive publications.
Yeah.
We're talking
Forbes. I once got an email from someone. He's like, I can guarantee your client getting in Forbes. It's just $26,000. Just 26.
Just 26. Just a small.
And I responded
26.
back and I said, dude, what are you doing? I'm very casual over email. Yeah. These people are humans. I don't need to be formal. But like, no.
Yeah.
Or I'll even get like.
But I don't, I won't say one caveat. I don't believe that's the corporation of Forbes doing it.
No,
I think
it's not.
Specific journalists.
Not. And truthfully, they'll get blacklisted.
Absolutely. Like, they don't want that.
So this is actually very interesting, but Forbes Vetted shut down because of journalists paying for placements, like charging placements. They shut it down. So now they only have Forbes staff writing it, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. But Forbes is now going to be real tricky to get into. So if you're in Forbes now, you better shout that from the rooftops. But even like the Good Housekeeping Awards, the kitchen awards, the Self awards, all of those are pay to play. The Fast Company, anything from Fast Company, always pay to play. You're paying up to $1,000 just for consideration.
Ooh.
And there are some clients where I'm like, there's this opportunity. If you win, yeah, it's going to be great. But like, do you want to take a $1,000 risk to just be considered?
Right.
It's not you apply and then if you get chosen, you pay. It's you pay $1,000 to
even
apply.
get on the list to get to application.
And there's so many of those awards that people like cling to, and they're like, "Oh, we were the da 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 da," and I'm like, "You paid for that, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to
that
say
doesn't hit the same?
It doesn't hit the same because the reason why people love PR and the reason why PR is so impactful is because we don't trust advertisements because you're paying for them, but PR is all earned. We're going to trust someone's opinion on what they say because they tried a product and they liked it and they're honest with it. I actually cannot stand when my clients get features that are just like, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
Right. Like, try the product. We're really obsessed about that. Like, can we send it to you? Can you try it? I want to make sure you like it.
That is one thing I would say all founders need before they're ready for PR. You need to be able to send samples.
And sample sending can be expensive. So that's a budget item. And you need to be really specific about your requirements to send samples as well.
Yeah. And you have to know that if you're sending samples, you're still not guaranteed coverage.
Absolutely.
There is no guarantee in PR, which is so hard for founders to understand. And it's scary to make the investment in PR to know there's not guarantees.
I mean, we were talking about earlier, I've gotten quotes from $14,000 a month to $10,000 a month.
Don't get
just
started.
Insane. What is the range you think founders should be expecting when they first start out to pay? Like, where do you think is a comfortable number if you just started?
What I think or what you'll see?
What you think it should be?
I think founders should not, like, if you're starting out and you're not a massive organization, you should not be spending more than $3,500 for PR, which in this world
it's
right
hard.
Now, it's hard.
You have to know somebody.
Agencies are charging $10,000 a month for a few initiatives. And it truly honestly makes me sick to my stomach because I'm like, what do you need to, like, this is like my big problem with big agencies and stuff like that is like, what do you need the profit for? Like, what do you gain in life having a massive profit? And this is like the nonprofit and me coming out.
This is the do-gooder part.
Yeah. So like, it's just one of those things where it's like, especially now starting my own PR firm, I am not out here to make money. I'm here to pay for my kids' diapers and formula and to have fun doing what I love, but I'm not out here for a profit. And
and the money will come.
The money will come. And also, like, I fully believe that, like, I will be able to take care of my family. But if I have to put my family on the side to build this business that's making all this money, it's not worth it to me. Like, having money in my bank account isn't worth it if it means I'm not happy.
1,000%.
And I feel like it's so interesting because it's like, I just wouldn't, there are people out there like myself that just want to do work. So I don't want to make $30,000 in profit in a month. Like, what would I do with that?
I love that. What would I do with that? That's beautiful. You know, I think when you are obsessed with storytelling, you just want to tell the story.
I just want to tell the story.
Yeah.
There are so many times at my past agency, I wanted to just volunteer my time. I was doing lead gen for the agency. And so I had the opportunity to reach out to different founders and stuff. And the amount of times I was on sales calls crying my eyes out because I just felt so like overwhelmed with emotion of the person's mission. Like I was on a sales call with this one, I think it was best date ever.
Okay.
And I just remember, granted, I took this sales call 3 weeks postpartum because I didn't take a maternity leave.
What a time.
What a time.
You and Macy, I don't know if you know this story, but I had to force her to take maternity leave by cutting off access to stuff, calling her husband and telling her,
I was on Slack in the hospital room delivering my baby because I was just bored.
That's insane. This is number 2.
this was for number one. Number two's birth was so traumatic. I try to block that out of my memory. But for him, I had my baby June 27th. And by July 8th, I want to say, I was already like planning my next sales calls. I was chatting with the team, and I ended up ending my maternity leave early to come back. One, because I felt like I just missed my clients and I wanted to work, and like I didn't want anyone else working on the accounts because I'm like, these are my babies. Like,
yeah, don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. But also it was like I'd work from home.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The amount of times, I mean, when you have a baby and it's a newborn, you have so much downtime. You're just sitting there with them eating all the time and sleeping that it's like, yeah, I personally think it's easier to work when your babies are newborns than it is once
when
they're
they
moving.
can crawl. It's a whole different ball game.
My son is crawling now.
All fingers, all toes are a problem.
Yep. And I have
And faces. They love to shove their face against things. And fall off of things. Anyway.
My son just decided to roll off the couch the other day.
Oh.
And I was like, what did we think was going to happen right then? Like,
it was a discovery moment.
It was a discovery moment. And he still wants to do it.
You know,
they're fearless.
Gymnast. Maybe a gymnast.
I did do gymnastics, so it's in their blood.
So maybe it's Okay, wait. So you're in the hospital on Slack. This actually goes to one of my big points, which I think you probably are passionate about too, if I could guess, is I worked in corporate for a little bit.
Yes.
And I think the only reason transitioning into my brand and building KT Winery and Mom Juice was because I had a brand personally. And there was something, people were interested because I had been telling stories about my life, my experience. That has to be really important more than ever now, right? Because no corporate job is guaranteed anymore.
Correct.
So, I mean, how are you feeling? What are you seeing people building their personal brands from a corporate perspective? I'm also, obviously, other side note, of course, we work with a lot of mom creators.
Yes.
And I'm seeing a lot of women all of a sudden, you know, going from Shauna the mom is my favorite mom creator. Oh,
I'll follow her after this.
Her story, I watch it like it is a new episode of a TV show when it drops. It is, I am obsessed. You guys know Shauna the mom. You trust me, it is going to change your life. Anyway, but like I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, she shot from 0 followers 5 years ago to millions of followers.
Yeah.
She's created this brand just off of telling stories about her actual life. Like I think of Rebby, the gothic mom, like there is this whole experience of women just being themselves, but in public.
Yes.
Building big careers and giving them a lot of flexibility and functionality.
Yeah.
In what they want to do.
I love it. Or the amount of stay-at-home moms that now have this career. I mean, can we talk about mom talk?
Of course.
Addicted.
And also, and they revolutionized, to me, mom blog culture.
Yeah. I mean, I work on both sides of it. So not only am I a content creator, I mean, I started out doing my TikToks about wedding planning. And I went from wedding planning to then I was a pregnant mom. And then it was, I'm now 2 under 2. And it's been really interesting to see how my audience fluctuates and the opportunities that brings to my family. That it's like, if I had the time to devote full time to content creation, like it could potentially do what I want it to do. I just don't love social media that much.
Right.
But like the amount of moms that I'll reach out to collab with brands from like a PR perspective, fun fact about PR, we do influencer marketing too, that their quotes start at $25,000 for a story, a 60-second story that is up for 24 hours.
I've gotten these quotes, guys. Like, who do you think we are? We can't afford that.
I look at that and I'm like,
you want some wine?
You could have 2 collabs and make more than my entire family makes. Like my husband and I.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the influencer Remy for Aerie, where instead of linking
Remy Bader?
Yeah, instead of linking Aerie's website, she accidentally linked the campaign brief where everyone found out that she was getting paid like $60,000 for the campaign, and that's what went live. And all of these people got so offended, and I'm like, do you really think that these content creators can have this lavish lifestyle without these prices?
Honestly, I'm over here like, go off, sis.
Yes.
Literally, we turn people down all the time because we get these crazy quotes. And I say they're crazy because we're not that big of a company yet. So I write back, I am obsessed with this for you. Like, I love that this is the price.
Yeah.
We cannot afford the price.
Yeah.
In no way is this a reflection of you and your talents. I'm just saying that we cannot opt in right now.
Right.
But let's stay in touch.
Pop off, queen.
I'm like, get your money.
Yes.
Do the thing. First off, I'm just like, claps to you, Remy.
I can't, like, it pains me to tell a brand that I want to do a paid collaboration.
Oh, it shouldn't.
I don't do it. I only do gifted campaigns.
We're going to work on that.
Which I really need to work on.
I
have been told multiple times. It's funny because, like, a client, I'll be like, yeah, no, we're going to do paid campaigns for it. And then myself, I'm like, I'm going to ignore my advice.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that offline. We can't do that. We got to get the money. But you're making a big leap, though. So
yeah,
you are leaving speaking of creating a brand, because that's how we met.
Yes.
On LinkedIn.
Yes.
So you're making the leap from a 9-to-5 to creating your own agency. Do you want to tell the people this will be out by the time you launch?
Yes.
So I'm excited. Tell the people. I finally saw the email signature. I was like, oh, I love it.
April 1st. Babble PR will be officially live. And so
from like Tower of Babel, where's or Babel just because like
Baby Babel.
Baby Babel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me tell you the story. Truthfully, this all came from like thought to reality in about a week and a half.
Oh, wow.
So like this was not premeditated or anything. This was literally just like I had this idea, I ran with it. And then as I started building my brand, I was like, this is going to matter to someone. And it matters to me. And it's something I'm so dang proud of. But if I can translate my toddler's babble, I can translate a brand into headlines that matter. So that's like my tagline. But it is basically stemming from this thought that if I have said since my daughter was a little blueberry in my belly, I said, if I ever have to choose between work or daycare or being a stay-at-home mom, I'm going to stay at home with my kids. I'm not going to pay someone to take care of my kids.
Right.
And not that those people don't have important roles. It's just
not your personal ethos.
Yeah. I have one childhood with them, so I want to be the one that's a part of it. And so I have had various jobs, multiple jobs at this point, where I've had to leave because the pressure was on for me to put the kids in daycare.
Yeah.
And I, stay strong to that promise that I made myself. And if I have to put my kids in daycare, I'm quitting my job. And I'm going to feel sad about it because you are putting your career on hold for them. But then I realized I don't have to be a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing saying that I have to just stay at home with them. I can do this. I can do this on my own. In my past agency, I got a lot of experience under this whole umbrella of I was connecting with founders. I was talking to them about PR and what it could do for them. I started all of those conversations solely just to be a resource. I wanted to grow my network and I just wanted to help people. It's like the nonprofit in me. It never goes away. So yes, if they wanted to book a sales call and they had the budget, I'll humor that. But the main goal for me was always, I want to be a resource. And so I was already doing that. I was taking sales calls. I was building proposals. I was signing clients. Then I was handling all of their PR from start to finish, from concept to delivery, to ending their contract. And I was also helping with, coming up with social content of how to position the agency B2B to founders and make our agency look good to founders and interesting to founders. What do founders want to see from an agency's social media? What do they want to see from my social media? I was establishing myself as a thought leader on LinkedIn. I was doing all of these things. So I was debating, being a stay-at-home mom, leaving my job and just staying at home. And then I realized, why don't I just do it myself?
I love that. So what are the services that you're offering and who are you serving specifically?
Yeah. So I am offering PR services. I am doing a la carte services and I'm doing full service PR packages.
Okay.
But my entire premise is centered around being a mom-owned and operated business. So my packages are all named after, different childcare options.
Love that.
So like Mother's Day Out is going to be a taste of PR for the people who aren't ready to commit to letting go of their baby all the time.
Okay.
And then we go to kindergarten where it's full service for a year of 3 to 4 fully executed campaigns every single month.
Wow.
And it's one of those things where it's like I found when I was working at my past agency that being a mom, like you're a queen at multitasking. I can work so fast because when you only have a limited amount of time in your day to be Emily and not mom, you jump through hurdles and you make whatever you need to do happen.
No, moms are so efficient.
Yes.
Well, there's no choice.
There's no other
There's no choice.
Exactly. So it's like I can do the same amount of work as a big agency in half the time. I worked part-time at my agency and I was still hitting the same KPIs and if not
moms are
exceeding them.
superheroes. So
Yeah.
I love this. So are you specifically going for moms as your target audience?
Yes and no.
Okay.
What I actually am going more towards is the people who can't afford big agencies.
Yeah.
I totally want other women-owned businesses. I want other mom-owned businesses. I want all of those because that's just who I am. It's who I love. And I will say, like, from my past clients, those are the clients that I just love the most.
Yeah.
But also, I just have this deep love for the CPG space, as we were kind of talking about earlier. So I want to work with CPG brands, especially the ones that can't pay a $10,000 retainer, an $8,000 retainer, but deserve the same.
Same quality.
The same quality.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets
Because that's how you get to be able to afford.
Exactly. PR is a luxury, but what's to say the story of Mom Juice Wines is not the same importance of any other ones.
Exactly. No, I love that. Okay. A little bit about, I think, the fun thing as we start to wrap up.
Okay.
I want to ask you, who are your favorite mom creators right now in the space?
Chloe Bounds. Absolutely. I would die to meet her. And I know that was such a fast answer.
That's okay.
She is who I consider my internet best friend. I've never met her. I think I've chatted or commented with her twice.
Okay.
So does she know me? No. But do I want to know her? Yes.
Love that.
Love her. Obsessed with her and her family. And I think that our husbands would get along great. So Chloe.
I love that.
But also, other mom creators that I love, Maddie Nelson. The way that she's with her kids all the time and she's building a business. She owns a clothing fashion brand. Super inspiring to see her be able to juggle both. Other mom creators that I love. Ooh, so many. Jo Johnson Overby.
Okay, I'm not familiar. Jo Johnson Overby.
She was a wedding photographer in Arkansas.
Okay.
And now she's almost homesteading.
Yeah,
in a way.
love that.
But she's very big on protecting her kids' privacy, which is so important. But the way she talks about stuff is she's so honest with herself and with her audience. I really like the mom influencers that are
real,
authentic and real. They show the good, the bad, the ugly. I love them so much. Let's see who else?
It's funny because as Macy's become TikTok famous with her little girl Lyle, I get the question a lot of is that how she really is? I'm like, it's literally you just filmed her being herself. It's the exact same person. And I think those are the people who hit the hardest because you're I know them.
Yeah.
And I know that they actually would use this product.
I've heard even in my own platform.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my gosh, you are the same person. It's very weird, by the way, because I only have 80,000 followers on TikTok.
80,000's a lot.
But I mean,
I think
comparatively,
I have 2. I don't try that hard, but
I was at Target one day and I was in the checkout line and someone goes, oh my gosh, is this Stevie? And I turned around, I said, what? And she goes,
so I don't think I'm good with that.
No.
I think that would scare me if you address my child.
Yes.
You can address
me.
Macy's husband gets called a lot of times. I think an adult is different than a kid, though.
Yes, we were at HEB, and someone just kept staring at us. And I was like, either they recognize me on social media, I have something in my teeth. I was very pregnant, so
or
I get a lot of stares.
Could be an option.
Yeah. And we're in the parking lot putting our groceries in the car, and they come up and they're like, "You're Emily, right? We recognized your husband in the store, and I've realized you'd probably be here too, but we follow you." And I was like, oh my goodness, this is weird. So that's when we decided to take my daughter's face off of TikTok.
I'm very into that.
So which I've had to turn down a lot of collabs because of that. The amount of people who think that they own the rights to your kids is insane, which is a whole nother thing. But I removed my kids' faces from TikTok, and it's because they were getting recognized. And I don't even have that large of a platform. That I can't even imagine these moms with platforms of over 100K showing their kids. I'm like, I just get so scared.
The weird things like Tiana, Hannah from Scarlet and Tiana, she's the one who does does her daughter's hair and the affirmations.
Yes.
The weird things she tells me happen. I'm like, nope, I'm not into it. People just need boundaries. Okay, let's get into rapid fire to wrap this up, though.
Let's go.
Dream client. Give me one brand and then one founder.
Dream client. This is kind of cheating because I'm technically investing in their brand, but Laurel's Coffee. I love her so much. I mean, I help her out any chance that I can, but absolutely my dream that I just want to do their PR full time.
Love that. Okay. And dream founder.
Okay, this is hard to say because my dream founder I've already worked with.
Oh.
No, but I do have a lot. There are so many brands that I want to work with that I align with, but I honestly would love to work with a nonprofit. I don't know if I have a particular one in mind. Actually, right now, I am offering free services to anyone who has a brand that is supporting the national parks or the public lands that need help storytelling on how to better their mission or get more pledges or anything like that. It's just very close to my heart that these national parks don't go away. So if you know of a brand, shoot them my way because I'd be more than happy to help them
I will
out.
let Sydney know.
But also, that's one of the things here at Babble PR that I want to do is every Giving Tuesday, I'm going to open up applications for a pro bono client every year.
I think that's wonderful.
Where you can apply to get my services for free for the year. Based off of your mission and stuff like that, because nonprofits do not have the budget for PR firms.
But it's really important.
Yeah.
To tell the story.
And then I also want to make a mom-owned grant where I will basically create special pricing for mom-owned businesses because I can.
Yeah.
I'm a founder. I can do whatever the heck I want.
We have a thing happening.
Okay.
What's something that mom should stop apologizing for?
Having kids.
Oh, love that.
Very simple.
Simple, real.
The amount of times, even I'm guilty of this, that I'm on the call, my kids are in the background, and I'm like, I'm sorry about them. No, I'm not. They're my kids. They're having a childhood.
And we were all children.
We were all children.
I think we forget that sometimes as adults. Best home project you've done. I know you're a DIYer, so this is hard.
Okay, I want to change this, though.
Okay.
Because my best project that I've done has been because of Facebook Marketplace, because I have an obsession.
Love that.
So, we're in Austin filming. The first thing I did when we got here was I updated my location on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm addicted.
You're a Pokemon Go for Facebook Marketplace.
So I live in North Dallas. I will happily drive to Oklahoma. I'll happily spend 3 hours road trip on a Saturday picking up something I got on Facebook Marketplace for $10.
Okay.
I don't care if the gas is expensive, but in my daughter's room, we created her big girl room. We have duck wallpaper. Her room is yellow. I hand glued over 600 wooden beads to the trim around her room to make it more girly. And I drove to Oklahoma to get a wooden duck shelf with pegs that was $10. So drove up to Oklahoma and back. And then the next weekend, I found this massive, beautiful wardrobe it was on sale for $25. Originally, they were charging $125. I guess it had been sitting in Facebook Marketplace for some time. And I got that, and it's in her room. And now she will pick up her entire room. She's not even 2. She has to pick up her whole room before she goes to sleep because she just loves putting the stuff in the dresser.
Mom hack.
Yeah, get them something
Mom
they're excited
hack.
about. But
Is that on Instagram by any chance or TikTok? Can we see
it's about to be.
Okay.
I'm
it's dropping
editing the
soon.
video.
Okay. That's going to be cute.
Yep.
Favorite book or podcast? PR related, business related, life related?
PR related, life related, or anything like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really listen to many business podcasts because I don't have the attention span for them.
Valid.
But I do listen to some fun podcasts because like I need to unwind. Right now, my favorite podcast is Call It What It Is with Camille Luddington, and it's Arizona Robbins and
okay, from Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, big Grey's Anatomy fan over here.
Seen them all multiple times.
But I can just listen to that podcast literally all the time.
I'm gonna have to try it. Okay,
quickest, but I know a lot of podcasts because I pitch clients to them.
That's all the time. Quickest PR tip. If you were talking to a founder, talking to a business, what's one thing you recommend everyone should do?
Gift guides.
Love. And low lift. Super low lift. Okay, gift guides. I love it.
Gift guides.
Okay, Emily, last question.
Okay.
You worked in big PR. You worked at the big firms. Did it live up to the hype? Was it more than the hype?
It has its moments. I think that it is what you want it to be. But for me, I think with my background in nonprofits and stuff, I don't think it would have ever been long-term for me. So to me, did it live up to the hype? I mean, the way I look at the clients is not like how much money we made as an agency or anything like that. The way I look at it is the life that I gave the founders based off of what they accomplished in our time together. And like, that's what's more important to me than anything. And it's just one of those things where like, that is not normal in this industry, that it's like, I am so interconnected to my clients. I mean, PR, my whole thing is that I become an extension of your brand, and I don't take that lightly. So for me, did the big agency live up to its hype? No, because you juggle a lot of clients. You sometimes get clients you don't want. And it's like, no, if I love a client, like I'm going to do whatever I want to, like, not whatever I want, but like I'm going to do whatever I can to keep them. I want to continue telling their story. Like, what's to say 6 months is enough time? I want to keep talking about them.
It's about the impact.
Yes. And I don't want it to be like, oh, your 6 months is up. Like, I'm done talking about you to the media. It's like, no, if I believe in your product, I believe in your brand. If I ever see an opportunity, I'm going to do it.
So you heard it here first, folks. Emily, will you tell people where they can find you, where they can find your new business?
Yes.
Tell people how they connect with you so we can get some clients and making some impact.
Yes. Okay. So Babble PR. So my website is babblepr.com. My Instagram is Let's Babble PR. And then I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. And I keep it very casual. I make LinkedIn social media. I love it so much.
I love it. And your TikTok.
Oh, and my TikTok. Yeah. If you want to follow me personally, it's at Scorgie, Emscorg. And I share all of my, home finds, my Facebook marketplace journeys.
I love it.
And
hopefully some about the business soon.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm so excited for the behind the scenes of building a business. I may or may not have created a video while I was waiting here.
I love that.
It's going to be so good.
I'm so excited. Well,
I can't wait to launch.
Emily Scorgie, thank you for coming on More Than the Hype. Cheers to Babble. All right. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all the things. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of More Than the Hype. If you love this conversation, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps way more than you know. Until next time, stay bold, stay real, and keep chasing the hype.